Hi everyone, Chris here. Today I'm going to be doing just a quick little book haul video. These books I got the other week at two different bookstores, two different used bookstores. One was Binnacle Books, which is located here in Beacon, New York. I can put their website in the description box down below. They sell both new and used books. And then I got a couple from a library bookstore, the Beacon Public Library. Unfortunately, they don't have a website, but I can, I guess, put their address down below if you're interested in that. So before I jump in really quick, in case you don't know me, my name is Chris. I do weekly book reviews, book box unboxing videos, and all sorts of bookish stuff with my little furry friends who I think are asleep right now, but if one of them happens to come along, we'll see what happens. I'm going to jump in with the first book that I found, which is The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie. Now, I have not read anything by Joe Abercrombie before, and I actually just started hearing about him this past year, back in 2020. There's a lot of people on Instagram that read his books, and then most recently on David Reviews Books on his channel. He read this and reviewed it. If you want to see that video, I will link it in the description box below. But hearing him talk about The Blade Itself, the First Law trilogy, it's supposed to be a grimdark fantasy. And those of you who have been following me for a while know that I recently read The Poppy War, which is kind of the first grimdark fantasy that I've ever read. I really liked it. I want to read more grimdark, so I was very excited to be able to find this at a used book price. If you're not familiar with The Blade Itself, I can just read you really quickly what it's about. So we have Logan Ninefingers, infamous barbarian, has finally run out of luck. Caught in one feud too many, he's on the verge of becoming a dead barbarian, leaving nothing behind him but bad songs, dead friends, and a lot of happy enemies. Nobleman, dashing officer, and paragon of selfishness, Captain, I don't know how to pronounce this, Captain Jazal Dan Luthar, has nothing more dangerous in mind than fleeing his friends at cards and dreaming of glory in the fencing circle. But war is brewing, and on the battlefield of the frozen north, they fought by altogether bloodier rules. Da, 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 da. And then we have Inquisitor Glota, cripple turned torturer, would like nothing better than to see Jazal come home in a box. But then Glota, I cannot pronounce these names clearly, hates everyone. Cutting treason out of the Union, one confession at a time, leaves little room for friendship. His latest trail of corpses may lead him right to the rotten heart of the government, if he can stay alive long enough to follow it. Enter the wizard, Bayaz, an old man with a terrible temper and a pathetic assistant. He could be the first of the Magi, he could be a spectacular fraud. But whatever he is, he's about to make the lives of Logan, Jazal, and Glota a whole lot more difficult. Murderous conspiracies ride to the surface, old scores are ready to be settled, and the line between hero and villain is sharp enough to draw blood. Unpredictable, compelling, wickedly funny, and packed with unforgettable characters, The Blade Itself is noir fantasy with a real cutting edge. I mean, does that not sound amazing? Second used book I found was Obsidian by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Again, this is another super popular author who I've never read. I know that she is most well known for her Blood and Ash series, which I haven't read, but I believe that this is one of her earlier series. You can tell me in the comments if I'm incorrect about that. But this series is called the Lux series. Now, I believe, let me check the inside cover quick right here. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 books in this series, and I managed to find 4 of them in my bargain book hunting. 2 of these actually came from the Binnacle Book Store. 2 of these came from the library bookstore that I went to. But they are in order. I have Obsidian, Onyx, Opal, and Origin. I don't know if that's the right order that they go in, but I have at least 4 out of 6 books in this series, which is a pretty good place to start. So this will probably be my first experience with Jennifer Armentrout. So I'm really looking forward to getting around and starting this series. If you're not familiar with this series, I will just read you the back of the book real quick. Starting over sucks. When we moved to West Virginia right before my senior year, I'd pretty much resigned myself to thick accents, dodgy internet access, and a whole lot of boring, until I spotted my hot neighbor. With his looming height and eerie green eyes, things were looking up. And then he opened his mouth. Damon is infuriating, arrogant, stab-worthy. We do not get along at all. But when a stranger attacks me and Damon literally freezes time with a wave of his hand, well, something unexpected happened. The hot alien living next door marks me. You heard me, alien. Turns out Damon and his sister have a galaxy of enemies waiting to steal their abilities, and Damon's touch has lit me up like the Vegas Strip. The only way I'm getting out of this alive is by sticking close to Damon until my alien mojo fades. If I don't kill him first, that is. So, kind of gives me some Twilight vibes, kind of gives me, I guess it's like a mix of fantasy, sci-fi, and romance. Sounds exciting. Like I said, it's a 6-book series, so I'm excited to see where it goes. And finally, that brings me to my last find, which was Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. This is a YA fantasy. I don't know that much about it other than I know that it is an Asian-inspired fantasy. Again, I have seen this book a lot over on Instagram. I've heard pretty good things about it, so I found this at the library store, and because it was only like $2, I was like, I gotta pick this up and see what it's all about. Again, because I read The Poppy War, and that was Asian-inspired, even though I know that this is more of a YA tale, I still am really interested in Asian mythology, so I thought that this would be a good choice. If you're not familiar with Spin the Dawn, I can read the back real quick here. So, Maya Tamarin dreams of becoming the greatest dressmaker in the land, and when a royal messenger summons her father to court, she sees her opportunity. Once a tailor of great renown, her father is too infirm to travel, so Maya poses as his son and travels to the palace in his place, joining 11 other tailors in a competition to become the imperial tailor. She knows her life is forfeit if her secret is discovered. As a woman, she'd never be allowed to compete, but she'll take the risk to save her family from ruin and follow her dream. The competition is cutthroat, and her task is complicated by Eden, the court enchanter, whose piercing eyes seem to see straight through Maya's disguise. But nothing could have prepared her for the final challenge, to sew 3 magical gowns that will take her on a journey to the far reaches of the kingdom, seeking the sun, the moon, the stars, and finding more than she could have ever imagined. If that doesn't give you like some Mulan vibes, I don't know what does. So anyway, Spin the Dawn sounds super cute, and I can't wait to read it. So, like I said, this was a very short little book haul today, but I wanted to show you guys what I had picked up most recently. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already, please subscribe to my channel. I do new videos every Sunday, new reviews on Wednesday, and sometimes on Friday. All right, everyone, happy reading.